Thank you, Chairman. I want to thank you, General, for your service to the country and your wife as well and your whole family. Appreciate all that you've done and are willing to take on in this important position. Wanted to ask you about Iraq. I know that several others have asked you about, but having served our country in Iraq, and just seeing that the director of FBI, James Comey, said this week that ISIS now poses a greater terror threat to the U.S. than al-Qaeda, that's pretty telling. What is it that we need to do in Iraq now to address ISIS that we're not doing?
Senator, my time in Iraq is a bit dated, although I'm somewhat informed in my current job as to what we're doing as far as Marines and the Joint Force. So I think we're doing what we need to do right now. We're training the Iraqis. We're ensuring the provision of equipment and ammunition and supplies. We're working in their operations centers, working with them, advising them. The only thing that we're not doing is we're not accompanying them, at least to the best of my knowledge. So at the end of the day, whether we do or not, they're the ones that are going to have to do this. They're the ones that are going to have to restore their territory. And I believe, based on what I've seen them do in the past, that they have the capability to do that. Because we have to defeat ISIS. We have to get them to a point where they're insignificant and that they're just some people on the internet saying a bunch of stuff, but they don't have any capability or anything to back it up. And right now they are not, that's not where they are. They have land, they have terrain, and they're masquerading as a country.
As you look at what is where we are with Iraq and our current force posture in Afghanistan, what we have consistently heard from General Dunford and others is that it's important that we have a conditions-based withdrawal from Afghanistan as opposed to a calendar withdrawal. Would you agree with that, thinking about what we've seen happen in Iraq post our leaving?
Senator, it's my military opinion that a condition-based withdrawal is more effective than one based on time.
Because obviously your enemy can wait you out and know when you're going to leave versus what's happening on the ground. You would agree with me on that?
I would say that's an accurate statement.
So as one thing you said in terms of what we're doing in Iraq right now that we've repeatedly had raised in this committee, from your experience on the ground, generally does the employment of joint terminal attack controllers make airstrikes more accurate and effective?
I would agree that the provision or that capability or having that with a maneuver unit makes them more effective.
So one of the issues that I think needs to be addressed, obviously, right now, as I understand it, with Iraqi security forces, do you believe that our American military dropping airstrikes in Iraq right now would be more effective if JTACs were embedded at the tactical level?
In principle, yes, Senator, but there's got to be some methodology we've worked out that I'm not witting to that, you know, for a pilot to go out there, as good as they are, to just find a target, there's got to be some coordination going on because we do have Americans within their operations center, so there's got to be some coordination where they're being given at least a general location or a target or something to look at so that they're just not out there flying around. But I don't know the answer to that. But but if there were controllers, generally a unit is more effective. Yes, ma'am.
Certainly, that's what the JTACs do on the ground, is help ensure that the targets are more precise and effective. I wanted to ask you also about, you and I spoke briefly about this in my office, with what happened in Benghazi, where brave Americans were murdered. Where are we today in terms of, and I think one of the things that all of us were really upset about was the fact that our military couldn't respond quickly enough to help, and wanted to know where we are today. If we had another Benghazi-type attack in North Africa or the Middle East tonight, would the Marine Corps be in a better position to respond?
Senator, today, post-Benghazi and what is referred to as the new normal, the Marine Corps deployed a special purpose MAGTF, a ground combat unit, and some MV-22 Ospreys to Spain. That force has grown. It's a full infantry battalion spread across 3 bases and a squadron of 12 Ospreys. They have an alert force on a 6-hour alert. If there was known to be some sort of indications and warning, they could position themselves on other bases in the Mediterranean or even in Western Africa. There's a number of security locations we've established where we could go with the support of the host nation. So our capability is much greater, particularly if we have some idea that something's going to happen or we know that someone is going to go there and we need to provide them with protection. So we're in a much better place than we were at that time.
Thank you.